In the midst of growing economic hardship in most parts of Africa, millions of young people continue to embark mostly to Europe, believing the grass is greener on the other side. Now, human trafficking has now grown to become a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry where victims are usually subjected to several layers of hell between Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea. Hello and welcome to Crime Watch. I am Ivy Kano. On the show this week, we will be looking at this issue and more, but that will be after the crime news.
Nigerian Customs Service remains determined to ensure that smuggling is reduced to the barest minimum in the country. Controller of Customs, Zone C, Kayode Olushemire, also warned smugglers to desist from such acts.
No matter how we appeal to them, no matter what we tell them, no matter what we have been saying, that smuggling is inimical to the economy of the country, people will still not comply. We thought of reason that the compliance level is becoming so high, but despite that fact, we discovered that some people are still ready to sabotage the effort of the government.
Army officers would play even greater role in the security of the nation as Nigerian Army is beginning to focus on using them for intelligence gathering across the country. Crime Watch was at a community intelligence gathering seminar organized by Nigerian Armed Forces Settlement Center in Lagos.
We could enhance our national security by augmenting the efforts of security agencies in detecting and informing the government of any development that could lead to a breach of peace and security in the nation.
It is on this premise that I approve the conduct of this seminar for trainee of course 1/2019.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Anambra State Command, has intercepted a vehicle with more than 2,000 liters of petroleum products suspected to be illegally refined. Another truck was also intercepted at Onitsha, which is laden with diesel, also suspected to be illegally refined.
4 suspects were intercepted along with the exit. 2 of them were passengers. To discharge them, they've gone. Remaining the driver and the motorboy, who are accountable to this crime. So the problem is that they were engaged in illegal dealing on petroleum products. Besides that, no license to do the business and no license for this vehicle to convey petroleum products.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Zubairu Muhazu, has vowed to deal with any officer who uses his weapon illegally. He stated this when he paid a condolence visit to the family of Kolade Johnson, who was shot dead by men of the anti-cultism squad.
Sad and unfortunate moment that I'm showing you the faces of my policemen today, rather than the tradition we always have of parading suspected criminals. I've always said that the Nigeria Police Force will not shield, will not protect any police officer who engages himself in illegal activities.
We had a distress call that we should move to Mangrove. So on getting there, we saw some group of guys smoking in their aim. We called their cultists. So we effect an arrest there. So suddenly they mob us, me and my boys, they mob us there. So in terms of escaping them all around, so I fired up. So I didn't know how we got to meet the boy in question.
The killer of the daughter of former Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Lasisi Oluboyo, is to die by hanging. This followed the judgment delivered by the presiding judge, Justice Samuel Bola of the Ondo State High Court in Akure.
There was a case we brought against the defendant who have been convicted now for killing Khadija Oluboyo, a daughter of the former Deputy Governor of this state. Precisely July, 2nd of July 2018. And that is the conclusion. The defendant have been convicted at the Yemi and have been sentenced to death.
Our first big story this week takes us through the scourge of human trafficking and illegal migration in Nigeria. Details in this report.
The last decade saw a new wave in illegal migration of youths from parts of Africa, heading to Europe. The Nigerian Immigration Service said that about 10,000 Nigerian youths have died in the Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara Desert. The federal government, in partnership with the International Organization for Migration, has brought back over 7,000 youths from Libya, and of that number, Edo State alone accounts for almost 80% of the youths. We wanted to know what factors were responsible for this. So we took a trip to Edo State. Although lots of persons have varying opinions on factors responsible for illegal migration from the state, but the core reasons are not far-fetched.
The only reason I find for this is what has become, in a way, predominant in our youths. If you are an employer of labor, you will find that a lot of them want to earn money without working for it.
Two major reasons. The first is poverty. The other one is ignorance. People are poor, and few people went abroad and made it somehow and brought few things home, and those things entice the youth, and they felt that abroad you could pick dollars and euros on the street.
The mechanic, the welders, the barbers, the artisans who have acquired skills but do not have enough funds, maybe do not have access to microfinance loan to expand their business. And all of a sudden, they see an opportunity that will brighten their future across the shore. At that time, what matters to them is anything they can put together that will aid them from Nigeria to Europe.
29-year-old Samuel, who was a lorry driver, his story is not different either.
Me a driver. I did drive lorry, I did drive bus. For a year before I come home. My papa give me 500,000. I give the man. Me not tell my papa say me the travel. What me tell her money I want use buy motor to the drive. As we dey go now, we be 4 boats when they go. Gambia get their own, Cameroon get their own, Nigeria get their own, Avico, so all the whole country. By country. Now we come enter this one. As we enter there, and then we for start to the problem come. As problem come now, they call the asthma boys. Asthma boys when they use fry boat, they call calabush people for water. And for there I start to go prison. From prison to prison, I go underground prison.
25-year-old Florence's story is quite different, as she didn't go to Libya. She told me she was deceived into taking to prostitution in Russia.
Actually, my own thought was to leave the country, to be in UK, to London, England, something like that, or Canada. That was my dream. I was being deceived because then I was young, so, well, that was my past. Most times I don't like talking about it. Yeah. Well, I had to sleep with men for money, you understand? That's what they do there. Understand? But actually, that was not what I was told. But when I got there, you have to, yes, you have to follow the rules and regulations. If not, anything you see, you just take it.
Florence got home to Nigeria and was received and rehabilitated by Initiative for Youth Awareness on Migration, Immigration Development and Reintegration, a local NGO helping in rehabilitation of victims of human trafficking in Edo State. As victims of human trafficking return home, the government, UNDP, and the IOM are working together to build capacity in the youths and make them self-reliant.
Earlier, I spoke with the zonal commander of the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, that's Lagos Command. On our special interview today, we'll be taking a look at the activities of National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, with specific look at Lagos, Oyo, and Ogun State. And to do justice to that is the Lagos Commander, Zonal Commander, precisely, NAPTIV Lagos Command, Daniel Atokolo. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I'll start off with, what exactly is human trafficking?
Well, human trafficking is a practice where unscrupulous human persons recruit other persons, transport them from their places of comfort, their zone of comfort, to another environment where exploitation takes place. Let me put it as basic as that. It is a practice where people are taken from their areas of comfort, and they are taken through a variety of ways. By deception, by force, by fraud, by coercion, by abduction, and every other one, using position of their authority over a vulnerable person, and the person is trafficked, is taken away. Human trafficking most of the time involves movement. People are only exploited when they are out of their comfort zone. You don't go to anybody's comfort zone to exploit him or her. But for the human trafficker to be able to exploit you, he takes you from your comfort zone to the place where exploitation can take place.
And those places, we've had Libya and the rest of them. How many, in the last 1 year, how many people have you been able to rescue?
There are quite a lot. Let me just place it on record now that since last year, virtually every other week, aircraft come from Libya. 150, 160. The last one was 174. As I speak with you next week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, aircraft will be coming from Libya with 160 Nigerians. Most of the time, all of them are not victims of human trafficking, but some of them are voluntary returnees. But you know, because of stigma, even the traffic person, when he's back, he says, "Thank God I'm back." He will not want to talk to you. So many of them have been rescued. Even locally, I was just talking about the external one. Human trafficking, if you cross the international boundaries, it becomes external. But human trafficking thrives also within the country.
Okay.
From zone, especially from the rural to the urban. As long as people are looking for how to better their lives, as long as people are vulnerable because of their economic status, because they are ignorant, because they are poor, because there are issues that push them, we call them the push factors, insurgency, breakdown of family social net, family values. You will recall that in the past, society was much more communal. Everybody in the society belongs to the society, to everybody in that society. These days, because of advancement, because of globalization, people tend to be more nuclear. They only look at their own immediate family. So what happens? People like to go out to go and look for how to better their lot. This is the thing that predisposes people to be trafficked. The human trafficker is very good at taking opportunity. They are intelligent people who take opportunity. They prey on the vulnerabilities of their victims. They come with a lot of
their victims
promises
and their victims' family.
Yeah, promises that are too good to be true. And that is why, again, we draw a caveat. That is why NAPTIV goes around. Massive public enlightenment. This afternoon, before coming to the studio, of course, I was at 99.3 this morning. What was I doing? Talking to the Nigerians, talking to people. Be careful of human traffickers. Human traffickers, they are the ones that bring modern day slavery.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are those signs for a vulnerable girl who doesn't know anything in the village? What are those specifics that they should look out for?
Once a man comes, and it doesn't have to be a man, let me place it on record that even parents traffic their children. That is how complex it has become. Aunties, uncles, they come from the township, they come from the cities, and they say, why are you going through this? It has a regular narrative. Why are you going through this? Why will a beautiful girl like you be suffering like this in the village? Why are you not ready to go out? Of course, you know that people like to better their lot. Why are you not ready to go out? I took somebody last time, so and so place, and the person is a lot better for it. It is so bad that even some parents who are ignorant will beg the person coming from township, come, take this one away. If I cannot take care of everybody, let this one go and have a better life. But that is the beginning of her slavery.
Now that brings me to the next question. Since most times their parents are involved, prosecution, how has it been for you?
Thank you.
Prosecution and conviction.
Yeah. NAPTIP has done a lot. Let me tell you that since inception, 2003, NAPTIP has secured close to 396 now. Because why I cannot give a specific figure is this. I'm in Lagos. NAPTIP is all over the country. Some lawyers are in court today, and they are coming back with situational report and maybe convictions. But as at the last count, we have 394. And for Lagos Zonal Command, 87 since inception. And for Lagos again, just last year, 13 convictions. This year, we have won 2 appeals. People who were convicted and felt, well, I want to appeal. They went to court. Do you know what happened? The Federal Court of Appeal confirmed their sentences, that it was validly done, and so they must serve it. NAPTIP is working, and what are we saying now? We want to go. We want to sensitize the people. We keep doing it because we have always done it, but we want to continue to do it. There are gaps we see. There are gaps. Those gaps, we want to fill it up by massive public enlightenment. But apart from enlightenment, what do you do to authority figures? How do you handle authority figures? Government, high government officials, we go there for advocacy. NAPTIP, yes, we are fighting human trafficking. We are arresting human traffickers. We are rescuing victims of human trafficking. Bring them to our shelter. Receive them in the shelter. Debrief them. Counsel them. Rehabilitate them. In the course of rehabilitation, we do what we call needs assessment. The counselor, needs assessment. The counselor counseling a victim will elicit information from the victim. What would you rather have done? Someone would then say, bros, auntie, grant no level for we end. If not, I will not do like this. As you see me, so me, I be hairstylist. So I can do hair. A victim came to my office yesterday, and kudos to our counselors. The last time we brought her, she was so violent, spitting on our officers' faces. But now, she came yesterday. The counselors have done their job. She has become calm. Her trauma has been managed to the extent that she was playing around. And she came to me. I said, my daughter, how are you doing? She said, Daddy, I'm good at cake making. I can bake. While I'm still undergoing counseling in the shelter, buy me some materials. I want to do cake. I said, that is my daughter. And I gave the money. And I told her, in the next few days, when we roll out the first one, locally within the shelter, because we have a temporary place where we keep our victims. It's a secluded place. It's a safe haven for them. When they are back from this trauma, whether local or international, when they come back, they need time to be on their own. They need time to accept what has happened to them. Then we walk them out of it. When they walk out of it, when we do their needs assessment, those who want to go to school, we are connected to NGOs, we are connected to some government agencies. There's National Directorate for Employment. There are other areas. We are connected to them. Then Public Spirited Nigerians, they come and they say, look, I want to do this. I want to do this. Last time a man was having, his daughter was having birthday, and he approached our DG and brought food items to the shelter. People are responding.
That's good. I was going to ask you, what's the connection with organ harvest and human trafficking?
Let me tell you, very, very timely topic you have brought out. Organ harvesting, mostly kidney. You see, God is good, but some people have made so much money, but their health is affected. Because of advancement in sciences and medicine, it's possible most of the time for a medical personnel, doctor, to tell you that if you don't change this kidney, if we don't do a transplant for you, in the next 6 months, you are not going to, you will pack up. In the past, when situations like this come up, there are human beings who have decided to be good to the society even after their death. So they say, when I die, I donate my kidney. Some people say, when I die, I donate my eyes, my liver, to advance the frontiers of research. And so in those days, people will wait, hanging on life, onto life, until one person somewhere dies. Then they look for the kidney. But what I'm telling you now is this. People have become so rich. Apart from that, the number of kidneys available officially for transplant is far, far, far too small compared to people who need kidneys. Some of these people are very, very wealthy. Human trafficking exists once a man or a woman or a baby or a girl is taken from a comfort zone to an unfamiliar environment. Once you get there, your international passport is seized, your travel document, every other thing is seized, every other thing. Your telephone is taken from you, then the issue starts, exploitation starts. And one day you wake up and you discover that there's a pain and your kidney is taken. So trafficking for organ harvest, it is real. People do it. And they will not come and say, I know there are some people on their own. They say, look, I've read about it, but the case has not come to me officially. How a young man went out abroad, maybe to Far East, and gave out a kidney. Some of them, they don't make it. But that is not what I'm addressing today. I'm addressing the issue of organ harvest, trafficking for organ harvest, and how they come. If it is not sports, it could be for school. All of a sudden, somebody gives a very generous scholarship. And then you go for it. Let us ask, are all those who are going for football abroad, how many of them, are all of them coming back? And if they are back, are they as healthy as they left? It's a problem.
Okay, finally, what do you have numbers? Do you have hotlines so people can give you information?
I have.
Okay.
NAPTIP has. If you are talking of Lagos, Zonal Command, info.lagos@naptip.gov.ng. That is our email. info.lagos@naptip.gov.ng. Okay. But if you are using the telephone, the handset, 070 8060 1801. This is a number you call anytime T. Officers are there to pick. 070 8060 1801.
What's the guarantee that anybody who is giving you information will be protected?
We are trained to handle confidential information. I tell people, you don't even need to give me your name. When you call the hotline, even as I speak, my personal line is on the net. But for this purpose, let me just leave it and give you the hotline. I receive calls 2 a.m. Nigerian girls who on their own clandestinely ran away. They are somewhere in Burkina Faso crying at night and calling. They call. And it is pathetic what happens to them. Let me place it on record here that the Director General NAPTIP lets government officials to Mali. There are over 20,000 Nigerian girls in Mali. As they are being brought by NAPTIP, IOM, EU from Libya and other places. Even Mali will soon start. DG is working on it. We give kudos to the federal government for coming to our aid, but we can do with much more.
Thank you so much. We appreciate this. The program continues in a while. Our second big story is on the discovery of an illegal laboratory in Enugu State, where a poisonous chemical known as methamphetamine is being produced.
This factory at Zion Avenue Phase 2 Transekulu Enugu has been used to produce methamphetamine for years now. The commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Enugu says it is one of the most poisonous substances around and that its production here may have contaminated the neighborhood.
There is therefore an urgent need to decontaminate the area as waste products of this illicit substance in the course of production have sieved into wells of neighboring compounds, thus poisoning their source of water supply.
The success of the NDLEA was due to intelligence report that initially led to the arrest of 2 suspects with 100 kilograms of ephedrine, a chemical used in producing methamphetamine. A follow-up operation on Sunday led to the arrest of the 3 suspects. Ogunedo Omerole lives in the neighborhood.
The experience is because we never knew. We were thinking it was fumigation coming out because of the smell we perceive every evening. We thought it was fumigation. Experience is, to me, is injurious because we sneeze. Anytime we fetch the water, we sneeze. And the color of the water has changed. The well surrounding is black already, which we have never experienced before.
The suspects say they were contracted to move what they believed were harmless pharmaceutical products from Lagos to Enugu.
Was sent a message by a friend to deliver something for him at Enugu. That's my involvement. So I was accepted to deliver the goods to a particular person that directed me to.
The illegal laboratory has been sealed, but NDLEA officials say the environment will be decontaminated. Methamphetamine is a potent central nervous system stimulant that is mainly used as a recreational drug and illicitly trafficked.
Now, before we go, here are some security tips. That's what we have for you on this week's edition. Remember to send your comments coming to crimewatch@tvcnews.tv. Till then, do have a crime-free week.